We are on.
Oh, hi, everyone. We're on.
Hello.
Evening.
Regads.
Hope you're ready for D&D tonight. As we are not. Plot points already experiencing technical difficulties.
No, we've already overcome all those technical difficulties. We've got screens up, we've got sound on, they can even hear me, which nobody really wants to
yay!
do. But, yeah.
I lied. I was about, well, I haven't lied yet. I was going to say that I was going to be DMing tonight.
I want Dougie Bread to DM. Oh, and Dougie Bread showed up tonight. Look at that. So
I don't think it'd be wise for her to ever do something that brain-consuming.
I think
Like
I can hear
Huxley
everyone.
you should be able to. You think you can hear everybody?
You saying that's a problem, Frozen Finder?
No, like literally
this
everyone.
Is the weasel?
Great. That's good. Hey, we're Plot Points. We like to get together in game. We like to have a good time. We share this time together. I don't know if all the inspirations are right, so I kind of had to do some doctoring to get an extra person. Because as all of you know, we have an extra individual on the screen tonight. We have Athos. I don't know why your name's not popping up on the screen, Athos. Let me go check. For whatever reason, it's not showing up there.
Oop.
It
There you
says
go.
it is.
It's okay if the name's not there. We'll just say that I don't remember who I am.
Oh, I know exactly why it's not
Bit of
showing
amnesia.
up.
Sudden.
Hold on one second.
Super anime amnesiac.
Boom. There's part of it, and because I have all the other ones integrated into the overlay, and I just automatically put yours down there with theirs, but that put them below other layers, and I'm like, oh, that's what's going on. So wonderful. We've got that going now. Boom, boom. That's taken care of. So, guys, what do you remember from last week? Let's clue our viewers in and get off to a quick start here because we got stuff to do, people to see, and obviously NPCs to kill because I'm with one of the parties that, we won't. People die mysteriously.
We only killed an
Unexpectedly.
entire city that might not have even had anybody in
Frozen
it.
Finder wants to point out that we don't have a name on Bose.
Bose,
No.
why are you disappearing?
Yeah,
You're
it's
not
nice.
gone yet. You still have one more night. You're not allowed to pull your name. And we'll add in a plotter's inspiration here in a moment because of Rosenfinder giving that. Guys, clue him in. Clue everybody in on what's been going on while I get Bose set up here.
We'll have Eric do the synopsis because he was here for last session.
Well, he watched the show, so
Last time
did.
on D&D.
impress
All I
them
remember is that Bose does not have eyes anymore.
Yeah, it's a thing.
Or
Yeah.
a whole town that he loved very much.
So,
Oopsies.
in our last episode, there was a boat, and people went on the boat, and they swam pretty far. They met a goblin, I think. Or was it a kind of a goblin, right? Or a dwarf.
There was Rockneck, who
Rockneck.
Klaak met, but there was also the Drow captain.
Might just be
Dumb.
like Klaak's imaginary friend too, because he kind of spooky little skeleton-y ghosty thing.
Okay, yeah. But also on the boat was whatever Spooks' character is. I still don't know. But it only repeats things it hears, and it looks like some sort of construct, so Remy's kind of into that, but he didn't have much time to be into that because a wild magic surge caused like a hurricane.
Yeah.
And then shortly after the
Gems
hurricane
disappeared.
happened, so that hurricane made the entire like water lake, underground lake we were in, just kind of gone, which was really cool because then we could get to this underground city that was like made out of gems, I guess. But instead, once we all washed ashore, another wild magic surge happened when I tried to heal Spooks' character. And that got rid of every gem in a mile radius, which not only struck our Warforged friend Bose blind, but it also destroyed the entire Crystal City.
That we don't know about.
There was no Crystal City. We
Yeah.
didn't destroy it or anything. It just wasn't there. It was imagination. That's all it was.
Yeah,
It was a
there
myth.
Yeah. Yeah.
And one of the
We
things
weren't there. We couldn't confirm it.
So you did notice that the eyes are out of Bose. You guys have heard this popping sound. Things have happened. And one of the things, while Bose is suddenly blind, how do you react, Bose?
Okay, so the way that it looks, Bose is not entirely so surprised. If anything, it kind of just seems like the room just got really dark. But he can still see via blind sight, but not very far. Not very far at all anymore. So Bose will just say, well...
Where did the lights go? It seems darker, but strange.
And then he goes and like feels, in case maybe it's just him, and he notices his eyes aren't there, and says,
God damn it. Where's that goblin?
Beautiful.
Oh no.
Now, I think we do have a light source going on right now from Huxley. Is that correct?
Yeah, because Huxley came back to show you. He's got light on his hand.
And I think for the most part, you are all in the general area of one another, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
We were trying to gather up, I think.
Yeah.
I think we're all kind of still injured from being tossed around by the wind too. So
Yeah, I attempted to heal our main man here, and that's what caused all of this.
So one of the things that happens for Nerida is, as Bo starts mentioning this about the gems, while we all as players knew it and whatnot, you might want to go and check that gem pouch, and sure enough, you're going to realize the gems are gone. But as you do so, you notice something more important. The stone in your ring is gone.
Ooh.
Quickly, now, do you have a light source of your own? Okay. So, you are kind of in the shadows of everybody else. We're going to put you within that 15 to 30 foot radius. What is your reaction to all this? You can see the setting. The ring itself is still there, but it appears the gem is gone. How would, not knowing that there was this meta magic, how would Nerida automatically react?
I'm gonna look around. I'm gonna say, who the fuck stole my gem?
Probably the same person that stole my eyes.
Make a perception roll for me. It's kind of high, so I don't think you're going to get it, but we'll give you a
my
chance.
perception is garbage. 3.
Oh, yeah, no, so, yeah. Other than Bo's talking about his eyes being missing, I would say that it's just too dark for you to catch anything around that's happening, so.
Hey guys. I don't mean to disrupt everything happening right now, especially because, Bose, I don't know what happened to your eyes or anything, but there's a city under the water. I just happened to swim near it. There's some sort of staircase too. Just thought you guys should know.
Maybe they stole the gems.
Some sort of city. What do you mean, like a?
Like there was a bubble and there was a city in it.
Like a drow city.
Okay, I need clarification. Was the woman's name Drow or is Drow something else?
Drow is a race.
Oh. Do Drow normally live underwater?
No.
Then I don't think it was a Drow city.
Kuatoa, perhaps? They seem to live on land, but maybe there's a different subspecies of something.
It is possible for that to happen, but...
actually, DM, real quick, does Bose have any idea what Huxley is talking about when it comes to a city that she's seen?
Mate, I will give you a chance. History check it, baby. Let's see a history check and see what you do.
All right. Bear with me here. I lost my mouse for some reason on my trip. There you go. Oh, nope, wrong thing. No. There we go. Ah. Hold on. Disregard that first one. Oh, why isn't it popping?
Disregard would go with the lower
Rembrandt
6.
Yeah, go with the lower 6. There we go.
So, you know from your history that the Kuo-toa had, you notice, strange drawings. They like to draw things out in the sand, on the different stuff, on walls. They collect things. They collect images. And you have noticed here before that they have drawn pictures of goblins, but nothing about a city, unless you start connecting the dots and you're like, no, sorry, your roll's just too low. Yeah.
All right.
I was gonna get it with something there, but
Fair enough.
anybody else got ideas? Maybe
Rembrandt
Athos.
will, Rembrandt will look over at Athos and say, you there, you were, in that water with all of us. Do you know, or did you see anything that, had to, with the city down there? Do you know of the city down there? Yes, no, anything?
No. No science person.
There's a
To my
city
jam.
underwater. I swam by
I
it.
still count that there's an extra person. Who are you? If you don't mind me asking, you can, just take a deep breath, relax.
Thank you, Parnella. Glad that you have a tier 1 sub, and Doherty D&D, thanks for that one. We appreciate it.
He starts miming your movements. Relax.
Yes, relax.
Relax.
Start
And you just
patting
in and out.
down my own pockets. I'm gonna start patting down this new person. Like, where's my gem?
And he starts patting you down in return.
I smack him in the face.
He smacks you in the face. Just mimicking.
Oh, wow.
Nerida, careful, it
Huxley's
might be
quickly
fragile.
gonna step in between. You should never hit a lady. Are you okay, Nerida?
No!
Are you okay, Nerida?
Would you like me to heal you?
No.
So,
Okay.
Huxley is now next to... Did Huxley approach Nerida, or did Nerida approach Huxley?
Nerida approached Athos, and Huxley stood between the two of them.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to make sure I was getting the right picture. Okay.
He's literally just right behind Huxley, just mimicking his movements, like, yeah, as Huxley starts to simp.
There's plenty to mimic as the Kuo-toa continue to pull out one another, try to help one another. And suddenly there's a panicked scream from one of the Kuo-toa, which sounds surprisingly like somebody drowning underwater. As they back away, something attached to them, but it's too difficult to see because in the radius of your light, they're at the farther edge out where it's dim. And clearly something has been attached to them, and other Kuo-toa run over. Perhaps they found your missing gems.
Huxley will also run over.
Bose is definitely going over.
Yeah.
Bose, you couldn't see it because your vision is limited to your blind sense right now.
But I thought you said it's screened.
Scream.
Oh, the scream. Yeah, you can head towards the scream. Absolutely, brother.
Oh,
You
yeah.
got it.
Do those of us with dark vision, are we able to see what's attached to them from this far out?
You can. It looks strangely eel-like. Long and
Eel-like.
dangling and biting. Maybe a sea snake, maybe an eel. Something else. Bose, you start approaching, getting near the others, using your tendrils to get this blind sense around you and whatnot. Reaching out. It slows your movement a little bit to have to feel that way, much like anybody tapping their way forward. But you're able to get there quickly enough, and you realize that some of the Kuo-toa people, through their little Kuo-toa pigeon speak that you've gotten some of, are screaming about the underneath and whatnot. Underneath, and this word keeps coming up. And you realize that many of the Kuo-toa are slapping against the mud. And you happen to know, because you've seen them eat something like this before, these are creatures that they pull out from the bottom of the lake, which now, thanks to the gigantic tidal wave that has washed up all this muck, has brought up these strange eel-like creatures onto the shore around you all. And you at least know you're probably walking on them right now. And they're just coming to the surface.
Oh.
Oh dear, this is... What are these things?
That's peculiar. The Kurtua find these quite, I guess, they take a liking to them, but this is strange. They usually aren't here in this form like this. And also, they keep saying something about underneath.
Well, probably because this stuff comes from the muck, right?
Correct.
Huxley's gonna try and help get this person free of the eel that's trying to latch itself on.
Go ahead and make a strength check to try and pull this thing off from the Kuatoa.
First, Huxley wants to cast Sanctuary, which is a bonus action, to try and make this creature less desiring to attack this person, so maybe it'll let go.
Okay.
And then he'll make a strength check.
It takes just a little pulling and whatnot, and you rip off this thing, this creature, which seems to have, you thought it was biting, but you don't see really a mouth. And you realize as you're holding it in your hands, you've pulled it off. It's sticking to your hands as well, almost like there were invisible, like little tendrils or hooks throughout this thing. And you realize from your experience when you were down in the gray swamps, these are massive leeches.
Oh.
Sorry, something fell on my desk. Go to someone else real quick.
Klaak, you happen to have noticed these things that were hanging out, whatnot, and they've bitten onto one of the goblins. But most things that bite, as you know, also might be tasty.
Yeah. Is the cave still like where it's gonna fall apart?
The ceiling is still continuing to make those subtle cracking noises. Most of it's already come down from the tidal wave itself knocking down loose stalactites. But once the gems went, and again that's meta, you heard this constant popping and cracking sound throughout. And yes, little bits you can hear falling down into the distance because the water level is no longer as high. The water level has gone down by about probably 15 feet at least. And literally, so the shoreline, if there is a shoreline at all because of all the mud and muck, is somewhere far out. You can't even see the water from where you're at. So as things fall, you're hearing splashes in the distance.
Bose, I don't think we can stay here. This looks dangerous in this place. We have to go now. I don't think there's anything else here anyway, just muck and leeches or something here.
This entity, unfortunately, agrees. But we must, if we find any more Koto on the way, we must collect them. They cannot be left to die.
While Bose
Searching around in the muck around me for my gem.
You make an investigation roll.
Could I have Athos mimicking her and also searching through the muck?
Sure. In fact, you can give whatever your intelligence bonus is to add on to her roll because technically that would be a helping. So 0. So so basically he's
17.
splashing around next to you. 17. Nerida, you find a small gem. It's so dark it feels like the right size, but there's really no telling until you get some. Do you have any light source of your own?
I have that dagger.
Oh, that's 5
got
feet.
5
That's more than
feet.
enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're pulling around. You pull it up, and it is the stone. Now you notice that the stone itself has fine cracks in it now, as if something were trying to destroy it, and that's how it came out from the setting. So you're gonna have to have it reset in there gently, but something powerful magic has damaged this.
I'm gonna very carefully take the gem because I don't trust it to sit in the setting, and I'm just gonna carefully tuck it between my boobs.
You got it. It's tucked away for safety. I don't think anybody will be able to steal it there without you knowing.
Definitely not.
Athos picks up a rock and stuffs it down his shirt.
It
Nice.
just kind of falls out at the bottom of his shirt.
Yeah, he doesn't even care.
Can Bose notice if Nerida has found her stone or not, or is that just a Nerida thing?
I think you're probably far apart now because you went over to the Kuatoa with the leech and whatnot, and she stayed where she was, where it had fallen out. So I think just the perspective is kind of distant.
Fair enough. Oh, also another question. Does anybody know about the whereabouts of Bloopian? Or are we just gonna go ahead and say that she is just indisposed?
The Boopian.
You have not
look
seen
for her.
Ploop yet. However, like I said, they're still pulling out dead bodies. They're still trying to come together. You got to remember, this is right after. You guys spent a little time. Somebody was up on the wall just getting back together. This is chaos for this. There's no real village here. They're just trying to find where people have been washed to, bodies have been washed to. And if people live, there's probably only about a dozen Kuatoa at the moment, total.
Oh,
from
wow.
a village that had easily a couple hundred.
How does Bose seem to be navigating everything? Like, is he bumping into things at all, or?
You can. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead, Sean. No, Sean, go ahead.
You can notice the external signs of what he's doing, where he's using his vines, but I'll let the player describe what they're doing.
So Bose, knowing that his sight is impaired, not entirely, but he does use his actual like vines to kind of feel the area, like, but it's with like his feet in a way. Like he moves them in a way where he's surveying around him a little bit, just so if one of his vines touches something that's maybe an obstruction or something that he feels like is a threat, he's gonna stop and be like, okay, wait, what is that, kind of thing. But he's not like tripping over anything like crazy or nothing like that.
Okay. I was debating making Godfrey be your seeing eye dog for the session.
Oh my god. Oh god. Now that would be interesting. Perhaps better relations with Godfrey. Less finger biting.
Guys, I don't mean to alarm anyone. There's something stuck to me.
Is it a goblin that steals gems?
I think it's a very, very big leech.
Are you missing a gem as well?
What does a leech have to do with gems? I thought they liked blood.
Nothing. Bose. Wait.
Yes,
Your eyes were gems.
that would be correct. Oh no.
I start searching around where Bose was.
Do an investigation roll. Now you have to get over to where he was. Yeah, you know where he was, so yeah.
Okay.
Let me look at
not as
that
good.
thing.
11.
What do you got there? And I'll like pull out my like hatchet. I'll just break you free of that.
Uh-oh.
Bring my axe towards you, Huxley.
Nerida has trouble because Nerida, as Bose has moved away his tendrils and whatnot, he has slopped things all over, and you find nothing. Although it does make sense that possibly they got dragged off as he walked away if they fell out of his head.
I really do appreciate the help, Klaak. But I don't think brute force is the best option. But truly, 10 out of 10 for quick thinking.
We'll split it in two, and then it'll just let you go like no problem.
You think that's how it works?
I think so.
Well, you
Here
seem
in the
so sure
background.
of yourself. I'm kind of sure of you too. Why don't we do that?
Okay.
Brute force is the best option.
I attack the giant leech with a hand axe.
Oh man.
Do I need to roll, or is it restrained?
You know what? You've been so quiet tonight. I think we should just go for automatic restraint. You know what? Let's give a little love to the goblin who's been so quiet tonight. So yes, you have a restrained. No, devil's bargain for who, Shadden? Klaak.
What?
Klaak, you are able to add a D4 to a roll at a time. I didn't set up tokens yet for that. I forgot to do that one, so I can't do that while we're playing. But we will mark that
good.
down.
We'll just keep a mental note.
Yep, that's it. Give her a little
Almost a
mental note.
crit. 25 to hit the leech.
Wow, dude. So what does it look like as you just destroy this thing?
Well, I was thinking I took the axe and I'm just trying to cut it open like I'm gonna fillet a leech to eat, you know.
Literally, you use the axe right down the middle. It's squirming open. The sides, the guts are there pouring out, and it's kind of like a taco where you squeeze the sides and all the guts just come up to the surface of this thing, all nice and tasty. I mean, smells great. Dude, this smells almost as good as fish heads. Might be better.
Oh
It might
gosh,
be a
I've
delicacy.
never been much for organics.
Oh, well, that's an interesting sight.
Did it let you go?
Do they eat those things, really? Ugh.
Has it let him go, Huxley?
Are you asking yourself?
No, I'm asking you.
Oh, okay. Well, you're like, has it let him go, Huxley? I'm like, I'm not sure. Am I supposed to answer? Yeah. Yes, it did. As he slid it down, yeah, it literally just, it let go.
Oh yeah, I'm just fine. Nobody worry about me. Klaak's a lifesaver.
Hey, John, you might want to check your screen. There we go. We got it. You had pop-ups going on your screen, so I don't know why. Maybe it was on my screen. No, maybe it was my screen doing that. Never mind. Oh, it's the chat. Never mind. Oh, never mind.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
We good.
I was like, why is that popping up on his screen? Because my screen's up.
Yeah.
My apologies. There we go.
Anyway.
So let's go, but that does not discount the ones that are now coming through the ground. Nerida, as you've been searching for the eyes, do you want to follow over to where Bose has gone and continue to search for the gems, or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Make another investigation roll for me as you move a few feet away.
Better 19.
Ooh! You not only find one eye, you find both eyes, and the one is wrapped inside of this leech-like thing that was trying to take you, like, grab down, and it wraps around your hand at the same time. So you have both eyes, both gems, and you know by the shape. You're used to doing stuff like this, judging. You know it's his eyes, faceted as they are. But the leech also has your hand now. It wraps around and grabs on.
Bose, come here. Come towards my voice.
What is going on?
I think I found your eyes.
Huh. Excellent. Give me.
Here's one. Hold it out. And like kind of slap it against his face and hope that he can catch it. And then I'll pull out a dagger and start cutting at this leech.
She slaps this thing up against your face. You try to put it in place and whatnot. And for brief moments as it's there, you see this kind of fractured world around you, but it doesn't stay in place. There's some sort of magic that has been, at least for the moment, fractured. Maybe you're going to need some help from somebody who can like magically get it back into you, but right now it doesn't seem to want to stay. And every time it falls away from your face, then for the moment that it's up there, you realize she's got a leech attached to her hand, and then now she starts stabbing at her hand with the dagger. You know, clearly she shouldn't stab herself unless you botch the roll. I mean, sure, go ahead, make an attack roll. This is just to see if you botch. Otherwise, I mean, come on, it's a freaking leech. It's like, kill this thing.
I'm assuming that...
Yeah, you're fine. You hack into this leech. Go ahead.
I'm assuming, Sean, that this fractured world, in my eyes, kind of seems like what a kaleidoscope would look like.
Exactly.
Am I correct on that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because then it kind of looks like to Bose that there's like 10 leeches.
Oh, yeah.
There's also 10 Neridas to take care of it.
Oh, that's also true.
Nerida, when did you duplicate?
So for that one brief moment you can see, and you see all these leeches, maybe you just need both eyes to see correctly. Who knows?
Perhaps. Nerida, you still have that other eye, right? That Bose of, or did you give that to him as well?
No, I've got it. I'm cutting it open for you now.
Oh, wonderful.
Moments later, you have this thing hacked open, Nerida. You have it. You've taken no damage because you were able to remove the leech so quickly.
Wow, you're so strong, Nerida.
Yep, that's me. Just get off the fuck off me.
In the meantime, Athos and Klaak, who have been watching all this happen, are noticing that, yeah, those aren't the only leeches. They're starting to wiggle to the surface everywhere. Where you guys are, the ground is starting to move. And while it may be easy to cut off one, once you start getting 2, 3, 4 of these things on you, it may be a little harder. You notice also that dozen of the Kuatoa that scream, they're like trying to scramble away and get away from the mud and the muck more towards the walls. One unfortunate sap actually runs down the slope towards where the water used to be.
Everyone behind me. I'll take care of this.
Bose would like to go over that
Great
dumb
sword
one.
Athos?
Who in the party looks like they are the lightest?
Klaak, he's tiny.
Clack.
He
I'm just a little ball of
buff,
fury.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Except for
like
that
he's
huge sword.
he's dense, you know.
Yeah.
Is he not a little teapot? I thought he was short and stout.
Short and stout, yeah.
He's a short Hulk.
He also looks very
Yeah.
spiky.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah,
would
you
touch
don't
that.
you don't want to grab him.
Oh,
who's-
yeah. I forgot that.
Who's next smallest?
Probably Nerida.
Probably well.
No,
okay, yeah, maybe.
probably Rembrandt, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say Rembrandt's not a big guy. He's
No,
pretty small.
Nerida's not very tall, but Rembrandt is scrawny, so.
Yeah.
Can I walk up to Rembrandt then, and then just put him over my shoulder and start walking away from the leeches?
You can certainly try.
You can. Yeah, you could certainly.
Yeah.
You sort of walk over and grab
Yeah,
Rembrandt.
he walks over and like goes like this, pats his chest, puts out his arms, and then just goes in for a lift.
What are you? Oh God!
Wait, hey,
Gods
you
of-
can't just steal
what are you-
people!
What are you doing? Someone, what? I
I'm
don't.
coming!
What?
Huxley starts running after him.
Someone stop this thing! Oh my good! And he's like sort of like not like actually like he's just sort of like slapping his back, but like not actually hard.
This
Just
cloth
tell you
covered,
help.
cats.
this
You're
cloth covered
you're lucky.
laden thing is carrying him off. And where are you carrying him off to is what I need to know. Which direction?
Just away from the leeches. Whichever
leeches are
direction,
all the floor.
like away from the water.
So you
From
want
where
to
the
head
water, I
toward-
guess, was?
So you take off after the Kuatoa, which are heading towards the walls of the cavern, trying to find one
Right.
of those openings that you weren't there when the group entirely hid from the Demogorgon earlier. It seems to be what the Kuatoa are doing, and watching the Kuatoa, you easily see one of them slip down and kind of fish flap through a small opening, so you'll have to either dig it out or just shove Remy through it.
I will set Remy down next to it, point down at the hole, and then go back to start grabbing another person.
What? Who? Whatever you are, why are you Why did you? What is?
Are you okay, Rembrandt?
No, whatever that.
Well, Huxley, you know
Construct
he's not
is-
okay because he doesn't seem to have noticed that he's got. Let me roll for it.
Uh-oh.
He still has 2 leeches attached to his legs.
Oh, I don't mean to alarm you, Rembrandt. Maybe just close your eyes for a few seconds.
That was Why would I do? Why would? What do you mean?
Just trust. You trust me, right?
Yeet! It's coming back!
You pray to your
Why
god
did you set me
today?
on fire, Huxley.
I don't remember that.
Which is all the more concerning.
But don't you trust me with memories? I remember.
Huxley, why am I trusting you right now?
I just know that you're a very panicked individual.
Well, of course I'd be panicked. Whatever that thing was just there. There was some sort of tidal wave that occurred here, and Bose is blind.
Rembrandt, breathe.
Sort of blind now, but
Breathe. 10 seconds in, 7 seconds out.
that's a lot of math just to do for breathing. Do you have to do that every single time?
When you want to relax. I lose count all the time, but that's probably fine.
On my way over, avoiding the construct, do I see the leeches on his legs?
You're heading after them then. Okay.
Yeah.
So, Nerida and Klaak. Nerida, I need you to roll 2d4. Klaak, I need you to roll 1d4. And Huxley, I need you to roll 1d4.
I'm also just randomly attacking the mud in front of me with my great sword.
Well, you are hacking into the mud, and you are literally slashing into not only mud, but some of these creatures which are coming to the surface. Oh, Huxley, that exploded.
yikes.
So,
And
and Nerida, you have 1 explosion. So yeah. All right. So what you're rolling is the number of leeches that have attached themselves to each of you. In this
Oh, God,
time,
I gotta roll
Nerida,
again, don't I?
you were down on your hands and knees searching the mud, which is why you ended up with more that got around your legs and things like that.
I got 9 of these bitches on me.
Now that you guys see that what Huxley's doing, while Huxley may be unaware of the ones on him, you all are quite aware of what's happening because, Klaak, you're smart enough to start attacking these things and you're realizing some of them are attaching themselves to you. Bose and Athos, none of them seem to be attaching to you for whatever reason.
Starts cutting them off of me. Be like, Make sure you don't have leeches on you, everyone.
Rembrandt will get like as he was getting exacerbated, he probably like looked down and said, "Oh, what in the? Oh, what? They're on my legs!" And like immediately begin panicking, trying to get them off.
What do you do while he's panicking, Huxley?
Huxley's gonna work on trying to get them off as well.
Of you or him? While
Him.
he's dancing around. Okay, so he's dancing around panicking. You're trying to get
I'm
at
just
him
gonna try and grab him by the back of the shirt and hold him and pull him off.
Okay.
Well, he's already been manhandled once in the past 5 minutes. So
Here's the interesting thing. You can grab one and yank it off per turn. You can grab off 1 to 2, but you're taking damage for each one on you each round. So it's one of those things where it's like you need to get these off quick and fast, because while one alone isn't the true danger, now you realize why the Kuatoa, especially with the larger leeches, these come in all sizes. The larger leeches obviously can pull more faster, but they're like sturges. They're sucking out your blood. You realize very quickly. You
Sure,
pull one
I'm
off
gonna-
and blood comes out. Same way, Nerida. I don't know what your plans are. Klaak, you're doing well hacking things, but they're on you as well. Do
These
you wanna-
things the hell off me.
Is everybody safe? Like, so the thing, I thought the leeches were coming like out of the water. You know, I understand they're all in the mud, but the Klaak's idea was that he's protecting everybody. Did they all leave now, like towards leave the cave?
Bose is still here, and Athos has come back, meeting Nerida kind of partway. Nerida's mostly there, and Bose is nearby. So yeah, I guess Huxley's gone, the Tiefling's gone. There's only Nerida and Athos and Bose.
Yeah, I just keep hacking at the mud then. If nobody's leaving.
Okay.
We're all here. Bose is staying with me right there.
So I'm just gonna make one roll for everybody. I actually have to do. You've got 9 on you, so I can't make one roll for everybody. Okay, so Nerida, you're able to pull off 3 leeches. You, in the meantime, take 2 points of damage from the blood that is coming out from their various things. Kitty Doe, you take 1 point of damage, but you're only able to remove 1 of your leeches.
One of
Yeah.
Huxley?
Huxley was trying to help me with Rembrandt's.
Okay.
So does she succeed in pulling one off me, or is that a different thing?
I would say yes, she gets the one off of you. And how many total did you have, Remy? 2, right?
I had 2.
And you get 1 off on your own. You end up taking 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Klaak,
that's okay.
Not trying to get any off. And you had a total of
3
on you, which means you take 2 points of damage. And Athos and Bose take nothing this round. Athos, you see some on Stranger, and Nerida's continuing to walk towards you. Not on Stranger, but on Nerida. And Nerida's continuing to make it towards you. What do you guys, any...
I'm just going to do the same thing that I did to Remy. I'm going to walk up to her. I don't know if she's paying attention to me or the leeches, but I'm going to do the pat, open arms, pick up, and then just start walking off with it.
Oh, God.
Nerida, do you allow this?
I'm busy getting the leeches, so I don't see that going on. I just kind of glance up as he's like, pat, do this, and I'm like, what? Okay, get off me!
Yeah. So
Is
the
it
rising...
manhandling if it's not a man?
Yeah.
In this case, yes.
Yeah. So next thing you know, you're regulated his arms as he carries you, and you realize, I mean, it's kind of clear he's not trying to do any other than carry you off towards the others. But that gives you a free round. I will give you a free bonus action to remove some more leeches. Go ahead and let's have you roll 1d4, and we round it down to see how many you can pull off. I guess in roll 20 you could do a d2, but if we're using D&D Beyond.
I only got 1 off.
Okay, well there is a minimum
So I'm
of 1.
down to 5.
Down to 5, and that's just a bonus. We're not doing any damage this round. So what are the rest of you? Huxley, you've got them off of him. Bose, what are you doing?
Well, Bose wanted to go after that one dumb Kuatoa that went towards the water, to like kind of grab that one and just bring it back to the rest of the group if he could.
Okay, you go running off down the hill, and as you're doing it, you see that staircase that Bose was talking about, Huxley was talking about, mostly covered in mud and whatnot. But this Kuatoa seems to have almost gotten into a slide going down the staircase, like because everything's covered in mud. and literally like it's kind of penguin sliding, all the way down.
Oh man.
I don't think it was intentional though. The Kuo-toa seems to have lost its steps.
Yeah. Oh god. How many feet away would you say this one Kuo-toa is sliding?
Well, it's picking up speed. I'm assuming you're holding your kaleidoscope gem up to your eye with one of your little tendrils so that you have some...
Attempting.
A little bit better vision. So that you can move at normal speeds and you're sprinting, you go down there. It's picking up speed. You're going to have to jump onto the slide if you want to try to catch it.
What if... Oh, man. Would Thorn Whip kill this thing?
Let's say you have a little control over it enough to decide not to.
Okay. Because I'd like to Thorn Whip and hopefully grab him before I have to go onto that slide. Because
technically, the Thorn Whip is, again, you're using a thorny object and whatnot, but it's part of your vines and you're not, thorny all over. So I like to give you the option. Go right ahead. Okay. Make an attack roll. Let's see if you can do this thing.
Let's see. Oh, come on, screen. There we go. Work with me. 15.
Wow. Literally, the little Kuo-toa is just going out of sight when you catch one of its flippered legs, and poof, you get it just before it gets away from you and start hauling it back in.
Come now, little one. Get back to the group.
And then I just start moving back.
There you go. The little thing is all bloopy happy and whatnot, and it starts talking to you about water and getting under and whatnot, and you realize it's actually got a couple of the leeches on it as well.
Oh no. I would like to attempt to take those off if I could.
Well, while you're moving back, you're going to be working on that. Let's cut back up to the top. Klaak. It appears the last of them has been carried off by Athos. You can stop defending the water and whatnot.
Oh, and I'll start just high stepping through mud, I guess.
As much as your goblin long legs can high step through the mud, you continue along. You take from this round, 3 points of damage, and I need you to roll on a d4 and see how many more leeches you get on you as you go through the mud. Because basically you're walking through like a layer of these things now as they find their way to the surface.
2.
So you get another 2 added onto your total. And as I said, you took 3 damage. So, but you can move your normal distance getting there. We're not going to call this. It is difficult terrain, but let's just role play it out. Huxley, you're just continuing to take ones off of you. Nerida off of you. Let's just cut to the quick as you guys do this. You haven't come up with anybody got any extra ideas of how to get them all off in one round, or just going to continue to pull at them and snatch away?
No, we don't have any salts.
I think that's slugs.
Slugs?
So was I able to take Nerida over to the hole where everybody else is?
Yes. Yeah.
Who has the most leeches on them at the moment?
I don't know between
Got
Huxley
5.
and Nerida. Yeah, so the one
Hard
you're
to tell,
holding.
yeah. Okay. Well, can I? And this is your call as Mr. DM man, but can I literally just grab one about at the mouth and then just put out one of those radiant sun bolts and then just do that to each of them as I grab them?
You can absolutely try.
Okay. Well, I'll just try to do that. No. It's actually just a standard attack for me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Thank you. Had to think about that. Yeah, so you can absolutely, try that.
I figure I can grab them at the head and then just burst them while they're in my hand.
There you go. And slowly he starts passing his hands over you, zapping each leech and whatnot. Go ahead and roll me. I'll just roll it. Here we go. So because yours are faster than trying to cut them off without damaging the person, you're able to remove 3 from Nerida quickly. Nerida, you go ahead and roll, and then I'll roll for what damage was left over from this round on them. I wanted you guys to try and remove them first.
I removed the last 2.
Okay, so you pull off the last one. No damage for you this round. Huxley, go ahead and roll me a d4. Let's see how many you're able to get off. And again, it's a d2 technically, so we round down. So that's 2. Because 1 to 2 is 1, and 3 to 4 is 2. So you get 2 of them off. How many do you have left? Is that it, Huxley?
4.
So you still have 4 left on you.
if Rembrandt can, I would also try and help. Probably after Huxley helps me.
Okay, yeah, go roll your 1d4 and.
Okay.
What
And
are you
I
using
don't
for a
I don't
weapon to
know
get
if
them off?
well, I have a dagger that I
okay.
could like pry them off with.
Okay.
I don't think I should tell Godfrey to just tug of war them off. I think
God.
that wouldn't end well. A 1.
So you get another one off. So Huxley, you take another 1 point of damage. Ooh, I got a 1. That was low. But the blood continues to seep out of you. Klaak, on your way over there, did I already give you damage this round?
I think so.
Yeah.
Okay. Then good. Then we can come back. Bose, you're coming back up on.
As Rembrandt's pulling these off, also since Huxley's a healer, he'll look up to Huxley and say, "You don't think these are poisonous, do you?" Very concerned.
No, I don't think so. I've never met an underground leech before. But don't worry.
But you would know if they were, yes?
No, I wouldn't. He smiles. Why?
Rembrandt just slowly looks down at the dead leeches, or
Oh,
maybe
these
they're not even
things
dead.
happen
Maybe they're just
in
ripped
life,
off.
Rembrandt. It's going to be fine.
But you said you don't know. How do you know things are going to be fine if you don't know things?
I just tend to find that staying out in the
How is-
sun really helps me when I'm poisoned.
How does
or
anything
hurt.
ever feel fine with how little you know? I just don't. How do you survive?
I take things one day at a time, and that would be my advice to you. Don't worry about the problems of tomorrow. I think there's enough today, and when it comes to being poisoned, you feel fine right now, so why panic until you don't feel fine? Enjoy the fact that you're living.
Rembrandt's still just like shaking his head, looking down, and just like, oh, this is why I like constructs.
Don't think they're poisonous.
You are.
Please.
You get the last. Each of you gets the last of the leeches off. Until all of a sudden the goblin shows up, and he has, on top of what he already had, another 5 leeches on him by the time he shows up. And as he's coming out of the mud near this hole where you're gonna have to slither down into, you can see his legs and his waist, and he's got a couple big ones on him as well. And he is literally like getting sucked up right now by blood. By this point,
start cutting them
Klaak, you
off.
have taken another 3 points of damage. They
Start
are
cutting them off
literally,
then.
some of them are sucking out blood quickly now. You can see them pumping. Nerida starts chopping in. Literally, she's quick. How about the rest of you? What do you want to do as Klaak approaches? And Bose, you're up at the top now. You're still probably 1 movement away from them, but you can see where they're all gathered in the distance thanks to Huxley's light. And
Gotcha.
Nerida's light and the combined light over there. Nobody else is helping, just Nerida? Okie doke.
Well, I'm thinking,
Huxley will help. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm taking my hand axe and just hitting the bigger ones.
So he's like smacking at the big ones, and you can knock 1 off per round, hitting it with your hand axe and whatnot. Even if you leave a little bit on you, that doesn't seem to bother you too much. Now, the interesting thing that you're noticing is that, like, as I talked about his legs, because he's got this coat that has refit him, some of the coat seems to be moving, as if they've slithered up under it against his skin and whatnot.
Oh no.
God.
Which begs an interesting question for, have they slithered under any of your clothes onto your back and whatnot?
This is like
I
nightmare
start patting
fuel.
myself down. I can do the thing where, in real life, I can do the thing where I can clutch my hands behind my back. So that means I can do it in character, right? That's how that works, right?
You know,
can
I
touch my
think you're pretty
fingertips.
flexible as a swashbuckler, so I would definitely give you that one. And as you pat your own back, you're like, oh, there's crap on my back. And now you
I start
understand
pulling them
why.
off.
Yep, you're like, they're under, well, again, some of them have gone under clothes and other things. Remy, you're seeing Nerida do this, and you see her pull like 1 or 2 out. You're like, oh, crud, these things were like creeping up your legs, and when you were down in the mud and everything. Remember, you guys were buried and coming up. Of course, Bose, the ones that are inside you have just like kind of been crawling out because they don't want to be part of you. They can't get what they need. Athos.
That's right.
You realize as she's reaching underneath hers that underneath your fabric, yeah, you have some of them in you too. These
But they're
little
not
leeches.
biting or anything like that.
You don't feel any damage from it, but you happen to notice when you saw her clothes moving what she was doing to check yourself, and you're like, oh, I can feel that squishiness under there. under that fabric.
Fair enough. Unfortunately, though, like the people around me seem to be in some pretty dire straits at the moment, and I guess with Klaak, he's not at the hole with everybody else, but he's walked up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So my assumption is that what Athos would do here would be he would walk up to Klaak, start to do the motion for picking him up, and then look at the bristles and pull his hands back, and then just start picking leeches off.
Are any of you willing to doff your clothing in order to get at these things and check your clothing and whatnot? Or is this just a straight, we're going to remain clothed and armored at all times and take the damage?
Well, Remy doesn't really have that much in the way of like armor or clothing, so I assume he could very easily like look underneath his tunic and stuff like that and check it fairly easily.
You know what? You actually have advantage. We're going to say because of that advantage, the leeches, you only have like 1 or 2 on you. Others where the leeches could just squirm in, they could stay there, and they were quite happy to squirm.
Start unstrapping my leather armor.
There you go. So she's quick on that. How about you, Huxley?
Sorry. Huxley is not changing.
Okay.
Because that'd be, very improper, especially in front of the lady folks.
The lady folks start stripping.
Huxley will turn around for the lady folks.
The stutter was probably his actual reaction to seeing Nerida do that.
and
he's gonna heal himself.
How about you?
Oh, Klaak's getting butt naked.
And you've got you've got double healing, by the way, Huxley.
Yeah.
From
Shaden.
Wonderful
Shaden
Shack.
Double healing.
AL. Shaden Shackle. Wow.
Shaden Shackle.
In words, it's okay.
So whatever you roll, double it.
It's a coat, so I can pull the coat off no problem, and then I just have like normal like goblin clothing, because I could just pull.
Okay.
Did any eels impale themselves on Klaak's jacket?
Many that tried going on. I mean, the bottom of his coat is literally like just this slobbery mess of eel guts and whatnot, because these things crawl. They're literally like,
saving a snack for later, like it's in his beard.
Oh God.
I think I still have fish. Fish is like attached to me too.
Bose, you approach them as they all appear to be undressing for whatever reason. And you have your little Kuatoa friend who continued to talk about the water and whatnot, and struggled against you a little bit but couldn't get away from you until you're up here now at the hole. And you've been able to pull off the couple leeches on it as you got up there.
Awesome. So I just go ahead and just put that Kuatoa right next to the hole where the rest are going, and just like I point, obviously like go in the hole. But
it slips through the hole, and you hear a little voice, Ploopian, saying, "Thank you, Bose, Bose!" And then there's a chanting from down in the hole, "Bose, Bose, 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 Bose."
So confirm, Ploopian is alive.
You recognize her voice. Others might not know it, but you know it.
Wonderful.
Thank you, chat. Chat is the one that voted. Ploopian must live.
Thank you, chat, so much. So okay, after hearing that, Bose is like, in his head, like, okay, so this isn't a complete loss, and then looks at Klaak and is just startled at his nakedness apparently right now, thinking that Bose was the only one who had vines.
Oh, nice. Oh my.
Did you really? He said he was butt naked. Come on.
That's it. Klaak is stripped down.
How does that look in kaleidoscope gem eyes?
Oh God,
my.
It's horrifying.
Like he
It's
said,
absolutely
vines.
horrifying.
My God, is it wrapped around his leg?
Oh wow, they went there. So
welcome to plot points.
Yeah, very quickly, you guys working together start helping one
Weasel.
another to remove these things, and I don't know if it's going to knock anybody out, and there'll have to be a healing, but we'll just say that in the time that it takes, those of you who have leeches on you each take another 1 point of damage, before you get them all off, because with everybody stripped down, you're able to go through the clothes, everything else, get them off, and you realize that the leeches aren't coming up the shore, which explains why the Kuo-toa went for the caves. But they did, once they come to the surface, they're looking for anything there, and they're slowly moving down, using whether it's gravity or whatnot, down towards where the water seems to be flowing as it tries to get back to its lowest point. And the leeches, after they surface, follow that same route. I agree, Coleys. Coleys like, it got weird fast. Let your players do what they want. They'll make it weird enough. So, you're there, you know where Ploopian is, you're gathered, and that's when, together, a light comes down above you, and it seems to float down. These 5 little orbs start floating down the wall towards where you are. From an individual...
Can you, like, put my armor back on?
Yeah. We're working on dressing. That Toffee armor takes how long? Donnie is 10, Doffy is like 5, whatever. But these...
Well, light armor.
Huxley will run in front of her and still not looking at her, but to, like, wherever way the light's coming from to shield her.
It appears to be they're floating down these 5 orbs from an upper ledge, higher up on the wall and whatnot. Again, most of the lower layer has been covered by this muck and this mud that was at the bottom of the lake. So you are actually raised up above the normal shoreline. And there's an individual standing up there, which looks to be about 7 feet tall, furry, with fangs and claws. Have any of you in your past encounters heard of a werewolf before? I leave it up to your open characters. No rolls necessary. Totally up to you. If so, you recognize what this is. If not, you at least have a visual representation in your head, and you may be. What is it?
I feel like I've heard rumors.
I think Rembrandt would just assume it's a shifter, right?
Shifters will end up looking more human. If this is a shifter, it's a shifter that's gone really strong. Because shifters take on some aspects thereof. They continue to look human. But this is like full-fledged. It's a wolf walking on its rear legs, and it's huge. Way too big to be a wolf.
Bose. I think the humans are following us with their dog.
That's a dog.
That's a very big dog, Klaak.
That's not a dog.
Is it hostile?
If it's what I think it is, it might be, but I'm not sure. You there! Hello?
There's a growling voice that responds. Are all of you still present and accounted for? It's tough to tell with you moving around like that.
Yes, we're all here.
Yeah.
It's speaking in common.
What? Who? What? Rembrandt just looks at Huxley. Do you know this thing? This creature?
Oh no, I have no idea who they are.
Go ahead, you don't gotta raise your hand.
I was just gonna say, as soon as the person talks and they start trying to ask if we're accounted for, I'm going to disguise self and look like. Let me roll here. I'm gonna look like Huxley.
Huxley fully armed or Huxley naked?
Huxley as they are right now.
I don't think Huxley got naked.
Oh, Huxley didn't? So Huxley continues to take damage? Okay, sorry, my bad. I thought everybody... That's right, I do remember Huxley saying that he didn't want to undress in front of a lady. So Huxley, it's another 2 points of damage from leeches that are sucking at you.
Rembrandt will grab
take
his
a little
javelin.
bit to get dressed, so we're still undressed while we're doing all this. The voice comes back down to you again, guttural and deep, as it speaks to you and says, I can't tell. Space out in the light. And as he says so, the orbs drift apart to kind of cast light over the entire area. Oh, there's the rock thing. That's, yeah. And where's the little tiefling thing? And, one of the orb lights, which is moving around, kind of like tries to get Remy into the light a little bit more so he can see you. You could dive down the hole to get away if you want.
No, Remy wants to figure out what these lights are, because they seem to be controlling them, and it seems to either be magic, but if it's a device, he wants to figure out what the device is. So he'll probably like lean into the light, trying to get closer to the orb.
And the voice responds, oh, there he is. And you guys are doing? I don't want to give him all the Athos, you now look like Huxley. So there's 2 Huxleys.
Yeah, he's
Red
just
flame
standing
and
off
red
to the
hair.
side.
In a Huxley pose.
Yeah.
Klaak, how about you?
I'm kind of standing with like 1 foot on a rock. Tell me your name, beast man.
Let's not use name calling.
It's all I got.
I know, but it's just not very nice.
It's not in my contract. I don't have to tell you who you are. I just have to make sure you're safe. Get you accounted for. Get you out of whatever crap you got into.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you.
That's a good thing.
Do you need a rope?
Accounted for contract. What?
Yes.
Who are you?
Someone hired you to look after us.
He throws down a rope, which comes whipping down while Nerida is still dressing. Nerida ain't wasting a moment, making sure she's getting everything on. And also making sure nothing's been dropped or lost.
Huxley's gonna cast Sanctuary on himself, so that way hopefully the leeches let go of him.
Okay. And Klaak, I don't think you've actually used your D4 roll yet, correct? You still have that from the Devil's Bargain, yeah. So I'm just adding mine to my pool, which we will later on put on the screen, so that people can track what's going on.
Safety. Bose, have you met this thing before?
Never in this entity's existence has this ever been seen by the likes of me.
You don't seriously expect us to come with you without telling us who you are?
Start climbing the rope.
Nerida's like, and you watch
Straight to the
something.
point.
Nerida has 0 issues with rope. She's like, whereas other people might have to make a climb check, Nerida doesn't. She's like, this is home to her. She goes scurrying up that rope, arms and legs going. Yeah. And as you get near the top, this clawed and furry arm comes down to pull you over the edge and pull you up. And a moment later, you feel the claws, pulling your arm, but not in a aggressive way. You can just feel how sharp they are. As with his strength, he pulls you over the edge. The voice yells
Right,
back,
it's safe. I'm not dead. Come on.
yeah, come on, get up here already.
Well, we've all introduced ourselves to you, or at least you know who we are, but we really don't know who you are, and my parents always taught me not to go places with strangers.
He goes, I was just told to tell you that your benefactor is still watching out for you and wants you to get the hell back out of wherever you're at and on task. But he told me that if you had all 5, you'd already helped your friend. So I'm guessing you took care of that, whatever that was.
Oh. Right. Yes.
Interesting.
Well,
Well,
you know,
I'm
benefactors
not
are
sure if I
people that
follow.
give good things.
We're still trying to figure out what that exactly is. Rembrandt sort of calls up, and he's looking at Godfrey, trying to figure out how Godfrey is gonna get up the rope.
Rembrandt.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there'd be any way for him to climb a rope. Maybe you could attach the rope to him and pull him up.
Yeah, that's what Rembrandt's thinking right now.
Anybody
So
going up
is
the
nobody
rope
else
next?
going up the rope right now?
Yeah, I'll go up the rope.
Huxley 1 or Huxley 2? Are you going up the rope? Oh, Klaak is.
I'm gonna.
Or wait.
I'm
Klaak, you
going
just
to
said this, right?
probably go over to Remy and pick him up again and put him next to the rope.
You do that, but I think Klaak, you get over. By the time you do that, Klaak, you said you wanted to climb it.
Yeah. I'll
Klaak,
climb
you're
the
like,
rope.
boom, you've got your stuff. Help paint a picture here, because I know you usually drag this huge sword behind you. How do you climb a rope with your?
I imagine I have a big dirty sack that I carry too, and I have all my stuff shoved into that, and then I have my sword in one hand, and I'm just goblin feeding and one-handed climbing the rope.
Okay, so literally with one, make an acrobatics check for me, or which one? Let's go athletics.
I would imagine
That's your
too that I got my goblin panties back on.
Yeah. I figured your coat and all that is shoved in your sack, because you're not
Goblin
wasting any
panties.
time.
There you go.
Jaw boxers.
Oh, I think
Rembrandt-
I ran that. That's the
You
wrong
need help getting your dog up.
There you go.
25.
Dude, you know, you
Yes,
guys
that would
see
be
another
nice.
amazing feat. He does this with just the 3, wrapping one arm around, and it may be slippery from the mud on him, but he does it. You know, he gets right up, man, dragging all his weight with him.
What
Yeah,
I'm gonna
Rembrandt
do- Yeah.
looks at Bose and says, are you sure this rope will hold you, Bose?
There's only one way to find out.
And so, is there anybody on the rope right now?
There's not, but you also know the ledge is only about 35 to 40 feet above you.
B.O.S.E, this entity will go last, just in case.
All right. Nerida's lowering his second rope.
Yeah, I've got some more rope that I have on my person, and I'm lowering it. And I'm like, okay, tie one half around that, and one half around that, and we'll raise your dog.
Okay, and Rembrandt will start tying Godfrey to the 2 ropes for him to get
Start
pulled
helping
up
our
first.
werewolf friend pull
Okay.
up Godfrey.
The werewolf actually is working right now because when the goblin comes up and over the edge, the wolf looks at him, snarls, and says, "Who are you?"
I'm Klaak, the Goblin King. I'm glad that you came here.
I wasn't told about any
He's
goblin
not actually
king.
a Goblin King. He just calls himself that.
You have a nasty cough there.
He
Yes.
snarls a little bit at you and says, "I wasn't told to get any goblin out."
Are you going to be racist about it? Is that how it's going to be?
He looks, he goes, "As long as the 5 of you are here, I don't care."
Very
And he
good.
goes back. You're got your second rope down there that you're working with.
Let's get the doggy up.
Yeah.
Moments later, Doggo is at the top, safely tied in.
Cool.
You're
Okay, as
untying
soon as
him.
Godfrey...
Tie my rope back around.
Yep. And then you guys have to space out along the thing because the ledge isn't that big, so not a problem.
As soon as Godfrey's up there, Remy will like get ready to climb up the rope once it's lowered back down again.
Yeah.
Okay, Remy, you're just gonna climb it normal.
Yes.
Okay, make me an acrobatics check with advantage.
Okay. With advantage. Bam. Bam.
Oh, snap! You
Nat
guys are all
20.
like, despite the mud and whatnot, and despite other people going up. Yeah. All right. So you get up moments later, and that leaves Bose and Huxley too.
Bose looks at Huxley and just goes,
Which
There you
Huxley?
go.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, which
I don't
Huxley
think
are we
either
looking at?
Huxley-
Well, you are
think it's
seeing a
both Huxleys,
kaleidoscope,
yeah.
so that's
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah, it's
it's
true.
like
There's
32
multiple.
Huxleys.
There's
So to you,
so
could
many.
just be one still.
When Bose is back up, I'm gonna give him the other eye that I extracted from the leech and be like, here, you might need both. Maybe, just take it.
Wonderful.
Isn't there
If Bose
down?
gets up there, let's see about that. Oh no. I'm sorry. Whoever's gonna go up the rope, whichever Huxley's going up the rope.
Oh, Bose hasn't gotten up yet. Okay, never mind.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
No, really, you first.
Oh, really? You first?
Huxley!
That's a little weird.
That's a little weird. No, really, you first.
I truly believe in being the last one to go places to make sure all of my friends reach safety. I consider you a friend.
I consider you a friend. No, really, you go.
No, really, you.
Huxley!
Yes, Nerida, I'm coming.
Huxley,
will
hurry
start
up!
to climb. Huxley will start to climb the rope.
Nerida, are you all right? I heard coughing
Make
from
a
down
acrobatics check for me.
I'm fine.
Huxley's gonna use his inspiration.
Okay.
there. You sure? Because I was worried the eels might be poison.
No, I don't think they're poison.
And remember, he is unlucky.
And we will be unlucking Hux. I never actually bumped it back to 3 because you told me that last game. I apologize. So we'll leave it at 2 on the screen because that was a 3 since you had your rest. And Huxley gets all the way near the top. And as the wolf reaches out to pull her over the edge, him over the edge, Huxley reaches out with both hands and goes falling backwards straight down the 30 to 40 feet.
Can I try to grab him?
So you'll be falling 30
So, wait,
feet
you're taking
straight
my
down.
inspiration back for the unlucky?
No, I let you roll with inspiration, and then I'm just unlucking you after.
Oh, okay.
So you rolled with inspiration, you got a good roll, and I'm saying now, oh, you know what? You're right. I am supposed to have you re-roll. So kudos to that. If I am wrong, I will give you a free luck. I will remove one of my unlocks. How's that? Which you'd probably rather have a free luck. Go ahead, re-roll once more for me. You don't get inspiration out. There you go. 19. So Huxley lets go with two hands and does this kind of flip and grabs onto the rope like 10 feet above, showing off just because all of you were so good. Clearly,
see that,
Huxley's a
Nerida?
good rope climber too.
I did it on purpose.
I'm sure you did.
I'm so glad you
believe
noticed.
you.
Alright, I'm coming, and I'll climb up the rest of the rope.
Yeah, okay.
I'm putting on like my goblin boots, I'm assuming by now, and Nerida, is this yours? Who is this?
I have no idea.
Nerida's
I
still
pointed
partially dressed because she's been helping other people up and tying ropes and doing like that.
Ah.
So, but you can finish getting dressed while everybody else gets up. She prioritized the party, man. I like it. She stayed in character. She's like, bah, like you did at the shore. It's like,
Got just like
I'm
the
in this
bandeau on. I've got my jacket over my shoulder, and I'm just like helping other people up, flexing those muscles I don't got.
She's like, I know how to use my weight. She's good.
I know
love
how to
it.
use my rope, is what it is.
I think
What?
we have left one Huxley and one Bose, right? Get up here.
Yeah.
correct.
When Huxley would have given up the argument and started walking towards the rope, he would have looked over towards Bose and kind of nudged him with the elbow and like pointed at Huxley like he gave up.
So
Bose would look at Athos or Huxley too at the moment, and just still be perplexed as to why there's two, or maybe at this point through his vision, like 10 Huxleys. And he's just like,
Interesting. Your turn, Huxley. 32, whatever you may be.
Well, looks up at him because I'm assuming he's taller than me. Pats him
Correct.
on the shoulder and then takes a running leap at the rope and starts trying to make his way up.
ooh, running leap. I love it. So you leap up
Rambunctious.
a little bit in the mud and whatnot. You do not have Huxley's unluck, so you grab the rope a little bit high, make yourself an acrobatics roll, and get on up there.
All right, let's see here. Acrobatics. There you go.
Very nice. 19. Wow, very nicely done. A few moments later, you're at the top, and both Nerida and the werewolf are willing to help you over because they're kind of jammed on this little ledge together. They get you up, pull you through, only leaving Bose. And Bose, you're at the bottom when you feel this little tug at your vines.
oh no.
Oh,
I look to see where this tug has emanated from.
Ploopian has come out of the hole, as well as another Kuatoa, and she's looking up at you with her big eyes, and she's like, oh. And then she starts speaking in the Kuatoa, which again, you have a pigeon Kuatoa, as her little burbles and burps start spelling out, rebuild. We're your army. Rebuild, Bose. Clearly she wants you to stay and help.
Crap.
oh, she's so cute though.
And she likes eating your little vines.
Critical hit to Bose's weak point, his heart.
Yeah.
My heart that I never knew I had.
Yeah.
Okay. So Bose looks up up to the rope and just thinks for a moment, and then tells Ploopian,
I will be back very shortly. Meet me here. Come tomorrow. I will return.
Bose,
and
leave
so
Kuatoa alone? Leave Ploopian behind?
Only for shortly. I will be back tomorrow. Please return here.
Anybody else probably would not be able to read a fish face because they have no eyelids and whatnot, but you who were around them for so long can see the disappointment as the fish kind of huddle together into like their own little swarm, comforting one another as their savior has chosen to leave.
Only for a day.
And slowly she gathers them back and sends them to the hole to get away from the, any remaining slugs until the leeches are gone.
Oof.
She looks back at you once more as you move to the rope, and then she does that little fish slide through the hole, out of sight.
Oh, how wholesome. Okay. Up this rope now, I guess. Is there actually like a wall though?
There is. Yeah, it's a cliff.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, so what Bo's gonna do is he's not gonna go ahead and just climb. He's gonna test this rope, so he'd like to just grab it and just hang so all of his weight is on it, just to kind of test.
Now, how much do you weigh currently? I don't think you have any stones in you, right?
No, wait a second. No, I thought I did
I
have
think you
stones.
gathered a few after the demolition, right?
Correct.
Because
I'm
your
pretty
weight
sure
and
I
how
did.
it adjusts, so you have to tell us what it totally
Okay,
is.
so right now I have I have about 120 pounds of stone on me. So
Plus
that's
all-
yeah, plus my regular weight, which I would assume is maybe like what 100 pounds of vine or so.
I think it's
maybe?
something like that. I know we wrote it down because it was part of the calculations.
Yeah, so I'm like around 220, 230
So you're
right
fine.
now.
You can get up that rope, no problem. It'll hold your weight.
From
Yo,
chat, the hardest choices require the strongest wills, Bose.
I very much enjoyed that quote right there. Thank you so much for that. Okay, yeah, I climb up that rope. A little sad, but I'll be back.
Moments later,
Yeah.
the vines are at the top, and the wolf person has pulled you up. And he goes, "This doesn't calculate. I wasn't told to get twins or a goblin or anything." He goes, "I was supposed to get some Hux, a viney stone thing, which I guess that's you. And let's see. Yeah, Tiefling." And he kind of looks over, he goes, "Yeah, water, nasty watery hair, yep. And, okay," he goes, "something's missing here." He goes, 1, 2, 3, he goes, "the numbers are..."
Number 5 is
what?
the goblin. What number 4 is the goblin?
"I'm just supposed to make sure you're safe, offer you a way back from wherever you're at, get you out of any trouble you're in. Are you out of trouble now?
Perfect.
I don't see anything chasing you."
A way back to where? Hired by some sort of benefactor, and to where exactly? To what end? I'm
Mommy,
sorry.
he's just gonna
It seems
bring
like
us
you're
back
working with
to
a lot
the
of information that
surface.
we're supposed to have.
Remy,
I was supposed to just pay off one of my debts by coming and helping you out. Are you helped out now? Are you safe? Because
I don't think so. I don't think we're helped at all until you tell us the
Remy,
details of what's meant to be
you'll
going on
never
here.
know everything there is to know in life. Just take a deep breath.
How am I supposed to
But
know
I
what
can
he
know
told
this,
you? Whatever
Huxley.
deal you made with your benefactor is up to you. My deal is now paid, as long as you're safe.
Actually, a benefactor is a good person.
You call this safe with the thing that just moved through this entire cavern?
What thing?
Yes.
The giant creature that devastated everything. A tidal wave that nearly killed us all, and leeches clinging into our bodies
Remy,
just moments ago.
In 10 seconds, or was it in 7 seconds?
Shut up, Huxley!
The
You
wolf-
shut up.
Does other Huxley get into this?
He would have been there pretty close by the whole time, kind of mirroring Huxley's movements anyway. But as soon as Remy kind of has this little outburst, he kind of pats him on the shoulder, like, bring it down.
Okay, children.
No, I have been trying to help you, Remy. You have no right to talk to me like that.
Huxley, I understand you mean well, but this is important.
Well,
You
you,
said
don't
get us
seem
back
to.
on. He just turns back and starts ignoring Huxley and turns to the werewolf and says, "You said get us back on track. Back on track to what? To what end? What is back on track?"
The benefactor said you might be captured, you might be dead. I had to promise to come down here and get you out of whatever mess you'd gotten yourself into. I don't know what track he had you on, what you promised to do, or anything else.
How did you even know to come down here? We didn't even know we'd be down here.
Because the benefactor sent me to find out. You think killing people at the wall, digging a tunnel out of an inn, and then nobody would talk about how you disappeared into the side of the mountain? Nobody would notice this when you were being chased? Is that like the extent? Are you all your own worst enemies? My God. He didn't tell me he was sending me for a bunch of arguing fools. You did this.
But why is he sending? I still don't understand.
I can't speak for the benefactor. He goes, whatever deal you made with your benefactor is up to you. I just knew I promised to come get 5 souls out.
You said that.
5, or is it 4? 1,
You
2,
said
3, 4,
that
4.
if there were 5 of us, then we had helped our friend here.
Yep.
That was the job.
Yeah,
That was to
That
help
was a DM
friend.
miscount. I need to recount that. It's if there were 4 of you. Sorry, I was counting 6 people on the screen, but I'm forgetting we actually have 2 new individuals because Athos wasn't here either. Klaak, I always know, so that was just my bad numbering. So if there's 4 of you.
Oh, I was just figuring that you were talking about Malefor. You know, that Malefor should have been with us.
Yeah,
but...
Nope, that one's
okay.
not. Oh yeah, no, we can leave it at 5. Yeah, that would work too, but not for Malfoy. Yeah, I can leave it at it was 5. So.
And
Thank you.
helping
Everybody
a friend. I don't know what.
By the way, everybody gets
Legend?
about, I don't know. Let's do a. I'm gonna. No, I can't let chat do. I can't go that long.
Legend,
Yes.
I sent you messages.
Okay, I will go and look at messages. Somebody pick a number between 1 and 10. First person to say it.
9.
9. 9 plus
9.
2 is 11. It's still too low of a number. All right. We're just gonna go with a straight 10. Everybody gets 10 plot points for the amazing role playing that's been happening, what you're doing right now, how you're staying in character.
Ooh.
Thank you.
The reason I was saying
Tasty
that,
plot
like
points.
somebody just challenged me. I have that little voice in the back of my head, which is called a wife listening from the other room, and she's like, "How is you said 11, but 10's too small?" Because I go around the curve.
It was
when
1.
I asked for that extra number, and I was like, 2 plus 9 is 11, which if I subtract 10 would have been 1 point. And I'm like, I'm not giving them 1 point. It's just silly. So just take 10 points and add it to your pool because you guys are using them well. I need Rembrandt to make a saving throw, please, on Constitution.
Okay.
Oh,
20.
I guess I can let that slide. Yeah, that'll work. Cool. We never decided what the effects of the leeches were, so just different folk at different times.
You know what it is. It's leech herpes.
There you go. They're spreading.
oh,
Just wait till they come out from inside you. So this wolf entity that's talking to you continues to say, he goes, your deal with your benefactor is on you. I can't speak to what your deal is. You're talking about getting back on track. I don't know. Do you have 5 people? You do. Great. So you've obviously done whatever you need to do. My goal was just to get you out safely from whatever mess you'd gotten into. Because the benefactor said you'd gone below, told me where to go,
right.
and then to find you.
Okay.
In the meantime, he picks up a small lantern that was sitting open near the edge of the cliff. He picks it up, and the 5 lights, which were below, come up and zoom into the lantern. And now he has a lantern with him. He taps on it twice, and the lights go out. Leaving
Rembrandt,
those of you who
like-
can't see in darkness. I don't know if your light spell is still going or not. Huxley,
I know,
how long
Huxley will
was.
put that out.
And I believe yours still
Rembrandt
works
turns
for 5
ar-
foot.
Rembrandt turns around to like put his back to the werewolf guy and sort of like crouches down, like puts his his arms on his knees for a second and just and like tries to like compose himself, and like he's tired after the climb and everything like that, and he just wants to understand why he was sent here, and is just like beyond frustrated. It's like
Remy,
Okay.
yes, Nerida.
you don't know why we were sent down here.
No, what
Okay.
you do?
Only a little. Only that there is a benefactor who is hiring us to find and help a friend. That is literally all I know. And from what it sounds like, that friend was that kid earlier with the notebook.
The wolf hears you
God.
say that, stops and turns around and goes, "Wait, you found a journal?"
Why?
We didn't say anything about a journal.
He goes, "No, she said notebook, and one usually keeps notes in a journal."
Why do you want to know?
He goes, "If you have a journal, was there a name with it?" And he seems as cagey as you.
Yes, there was.
And what's the name?
Why?
Bob. I'm
And-
kidding, it wasn't Bob.
Yeah, Rembrandt wants answers, so he'll just say it. I don't know if I'm saying this right. Dorsier?
Dorseal, yes.
Is the author. Yeah, Dorsier.
And
Dorseal.
Klaak, you have never looked in the journal before, and they've never actually mentioned the name out loud, have they?
No.
I would like you to make
No.
a history check, please. And you have advantage on this roll because you came down looking for something in particular down here.
Oh, good. It should be like a 3 or a 4 then.
Wow, rolling 7.
2
20s.
7s.
You could add some plot points.
I
There is that.
don't think I know anything about humans anyway.
Well, with
I
you're
don't think
above
he is
a
a
5,
I
so
know.
you know the name sounds Goblin in origin.
Klaak
does
thinks
not
everyone's
sound-
a goblin, though.
Oh, that's true. I forgot.
Given what
Anybody
I
of
know
any-
about goblins, does it sound goblin to me?
It does.
Anybody
yeah.
of any
Okay.
intelligence is a goblin.
Oh.
So he goes. The wolf looks to you, Remy, since you said the name out loud, and now Klaak's speaking about that, and actually goes, "Would you be willing to sell it?"
No.
You don't even know the price.
Sounds like he doesn't need to know the price.
I can lead you back up and out of here.
That's your job anyway, isn't it?
My job was just to make sure you're safe, to get you out of whatever you're into. Clearly, you're safe now.
We're still into a mess, aren't we? We're still into a cave.
So you think if you leave us here and die, that the benefactor's going to be very, very happy with you when your job was to get us out of trouble? I don't quite
Well,
think so.
I can say that you're out of trouble now, yes.
I know how to
Are
get
you
us
in
out.
danger
I
at this
don't
moment?
know why going back to the humans would do any good for us.
Well, Klaak, we do at least need to get out of this chamber cavern or whatever this is.
I've been saying that for a while now. It is very dangerous. I can see, like, look at there, and I'll point towards the big crack you said was up the wall.
And as he points,
Yep.
I'm going to take Huxley's last unluck, which would normally be used for a reroll. And as he points at the wall, there's this huge crack that happens, and part of the ceiling falls away like 30 to 40 feet, a huge chunk. And as it does, you hear a further cracking, as if that one chunk that was in place was kind of like holding it like a keystone. And as it let loose, other parts of the bubble of the roof are letting loose. The dog, Wolf, the wolf kind, gets down on all fours and sprints up the path away. It's not staying in the cave.
Gonna follow.
You.
Nerida takes off, Remy takes off.
So
We might have to kill some humans as I run behind everybody.
That seems to be your specialty, so...
everybody's on board with taking off that direction.
Yep.
You
Huxley
guys,
Does it
isn't
look
running.
stable?
Huxley is lightly jogging.
is other
No
Huxley
need to
lightly
overexert.
jogging? Are you either jogging together or in tandem or what? Athos, I'm talking about you. You're other Huxley.
Oh, well, honestly, I I would probably actually be towards the back of the group to make sure nobody stumbles.
Okay, Bose, where are you? You were the last one up.
I went. No, once I saw Nerida or that wolf go, I was going.
Okay, so you guys all take off. It doesn't take long before the wolf finds an opening, getting out of the cavern. Again, you're hearing other things continue to fall and whatnot. And this is actually where there was originally a bridge going across to a stalactite. And you recognize this, Klaak especially, individuals, that were yeeted off of edges and whatnot, know this, what this was across to the stalactite that was previously there. You go inside here, and the wolf is very quick on his feet, so he has he can move much like a tabaxi does, with rapidity in his step. It's hard to keep up with him. If you're jogging like Huxley or staying at the back like Athos, you are going to quickly be outdistanced, especially as he gets into the dark, because the wolf is not using any light source.
This action dash to keep up.
Okay. Go ahead, Athos.
So, can I see that the Wolfman is legitimately leaving the group behind?
Yeah, he's using his dash every round. He's hauling butt. He's not staying in a cavern that's falling apart.
Okay. Could I run ahead? Well, I don't have a light source, so I'm kind of snookered. So I can't see the wolf guy anyway.
Well, like I said, Nerida took off right after him, so for the first couple rounds, while his movement is bigger than hers, you will see him progressively getting farther ahead. So
I
in
still
her
have that
light source,
dagger that's lit up,
Oh,
so
for
you
5
see
feet.
the light disappearing.
Yep.
Yeah, and I followed right behind Nerida, and I have 60 feet of dark vision, so I assume I can probably, if Nerida loses track, I might still be able to see.
Yeah, you'll be able to see him longer if you're keeping pace with Nerida and whatnot. Because again, your guys' movement is all 30 feet, doubled for your dash to 60.
Yeah.
His is 40.
Mine's
doubled to
technically
80.
90 if I'm double dashing.
Yeah, and Huxley's only moving 30 feet.
So yeah, so you have the extra because you're with the rogue. You can use your yep. So yeah, she's actually able to keep up with him, but that will leave the rest of you behind. Thank you for that. Take another plot point, Nerida. Go ahead, Athos.
Could I, if Nerida's keeping up with the Wolfman, can I run ahead of the group now and kind of serve as a visual link between the group, Nerida, and the Wolfman? So that way they can always... I want to try to serve as a visual link between the rest of the group and the people who are moving really fast. So that way I can follow them and they can see me to follow me.
How fast can you move?
Let me look real
You
quick.
should only have
I think Remy might
30
already
foot
be doing
movement,
that unintentionally,
double to
because
60.
Remy's dashing, but he's not nearly as fast as Nerida, but he can see Nerida the entire time, more than likely. Barring, if she rounds a corner,
And probably when I use my double dash, I'm probably using my dash bonus action and then my action to not get as far as I can, but to make sure that I am still within visual range of this Wolfman, but still within visual range of Remy if I can.
And Remy might just because I think I can use my bonus action to give Godfrey commands. He'll just shout, "Godfrey, make sure everyone keeps up."
Oh, that'd be
Godfrey nipping at heels.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say that's gonna end up interesting. That command.
I'm 40 feet around, by the way, right now.
So Huxley, how would you and Athos respond? Athos just took off ahead of you. Huxley, you were just jogging. What are you gonna do when Godfrey comes back and starts nipping at you to move quicker?
Keep
And-
jogging.
It's probably more like a weird, clanging bark at first, and then maybe if Huxley's really strong. Yeah. Because Godfrey does know not to attack them, right? So
That was the
part
last
of
thing
it.
that you had told them. Yeah.
Huxley's gonna keep jogging.
And Godfrey's speed is 40, so I think that eventually makes up the difference, right? Of him being able to run back, keep up, and then do all that jazz.
Running back is easy, but if Huxley doesn't speed up, it doesn't matter what Godfrey's speed is because Godfrey's staying with her, trying to speed him up. Bose, for all of you again, you're moving at this pack. You guys come up with a thing trying to keep the wolf in sight. Eventually, the wolf actually gets to the area where the last Durgar trading post that you saw on the way down was. Klaak, you're very familiar with this. The others were not because they went off the edge. They did the whole yeeting down. It's easy enough to tell that this is a more modern settlement built into the tunnel system, you know, at the higher point that comes out. So again, you guys were at the edge of a bubble, you know, just so that it's clear. You've entered here, kind of came up, went inside, woven around, and now you're up higher towards the top of this bubble. This Durgar settlement is inside and it's completely abandoned. Not a ghost town because there's no dust. It looks like it was recently inhabited, and much of the things here have been taken or dragged away quickly. Yet you can see food left out, other things that clearly tell you this was not a long plan of leaving. This was something immediate that happened. The dog, when you catch up to him, the wolf kind, is poking through things, looking through things, and when you actually come closer, he growls, you know, not realizing that you were going to be able to keep up.
Oh no, pupper.
Beast man. Did you know of this place before?
He goes, I came through it on the way down. What's it to you?
Well, the creature that tried to take me to the fighting pits, it said somebody attacked this place. Do you know anything about that?
He starts sniffing around. He goes, I smell Durgar. I smell some faint drow. Your smell? He goes, I don't see any signs of battle here. In fact, as the others start to slowly catch up over the next round or two, you know, he says, you were working with the drow?
No, he used this foul magic on me to mix up my brain. Have you had this before?
He says, I've had people try. He goes, it's a strange thing when another controls your mind and your body does things that you don't want. I don't like being on anyone's leash.
Yeah. It was like I wanted to do it, though. It did not feel good at all.
He goes, I can't imagine. He goes, but I also can't imagine why you all choose to stay down here.
Well, as I said, I'm a great goblin king, and I'm finding my fortune down here with all these things. And we'll find good goblin technology. Rise the goblins back to prominence.
Finding your fortune, did you find, like, gems or something I don't know about?
No, this! And I'll hold out the great sword with, nothing looks all that special about it, I'm sure.
Oh,
and this! And I hold my, goblin belt, made of, hide. It's, really raggedy looking.
Yes.
These great treasures must have been from powerful goblin kind.
The
of course,
wolf
which kind? Gnomes?
Approaches the goblin as he's talking this and Remy's talking and starts sniffing at some of your objects. Go ahead, Remy.
I don't think
Which
gnomes
kind
are
of goblin
goblins. We talked about this.
Oh, sorry, I must have gotten that confused. So there's goblins, hobgoblins, and...
Yes.
I thought you said there were many kinds.
I think everything
really
used to be goblin. That's what I'm saying. And now there are all these different things.
How'd you learn
Hogwash.
this?
The wolf says, hogwash. He goes, I've heard this rumor before that the world was goblins, that everything south of the mountain belonged to goblins, and that you're the ones that actually first brought in the humans and allowed them to be here. He goes, these are goblin fantasies. He goes, king of what? Look what you have. A hacked up old leather belt? Some pokey coat? He goes, the sword's nice. He goes, I'll give you that. He goes, that's pretty beautiful. He goes, but it's clearly too big for you. He goes, you're dragging it by the point. You're going to dull that tip. What was that you said, Nara?
He may not be some real goblin king, but these are not just rumors. I know for a fact that the goblins used to inhabit much of these lands.
He goes, what evidence? He goes, these are just fairy tales.
No. But that does not mean that they are in Providence now. If our want-to-be king indeed wants to see the goblins back where they so should belong, well, perhaps we can talk of that more.
So he is your king?
No, no, make no mistake. Darling, one day, I will be the king. He is not my king.
But you're a girl.
So?
Wouldn't you be queen?
No.
Or
I will be king.
Huxley kind of
Is
looks.
Bose still, is Bose with us now? Yes.
Yeah.
Bose is here.
You've all
You
caught up.
Yeah. Remy's sort of still catching his breath. Bose, come here a moment. Let me see about those eyes of yours. I think I might be able to help with. It looks like they're cracked.
As Bose takes, well, technically wasn't even in him, but takes him out, looks at him and says,
Whatever you may be able to do, that would be greatly appreciated, but
Yeah.
I've never seen anything fix magical gems before, but
Will we be able to get back there? Bose, your people.
that's the
Who's
tricky
Ploopian?
part. Well, the Ploopian is alive, but
After the avalanche fallen?
that's the interesting part. This entity might not be able to go back to where we were supposed to meet, which leads me to a whole nother conversation. I have to go. I cannot continue this journey, at least for now. Those people, they need me. I cannot abandon them. They are connected with nature in a way that nature would not benefit from their loss. I'm sorry.
I understand.
We understand. We understand.
May you
If they are
go
your
with
people.
Lathander's blessing.
Wonderful.
Who will read the ancient goblin writings and scripts for me then? How will I discover my place?
Perhaps our new friend here.
as he points over to. Are you still looking like Lathander right now, by the way? Not Lathander. I'm sorry, Huxley. Wow, look at that.
Takes on the god, the god body of a god.
Was it what? Lathander or Cleric in disguise?
But Bose still points over to I must
It's a
One of the
50-50.
Huxleys.
It's a
Huxleys, one of the Huxleys, and says,
Perhaps this will be your new lore keeper for now.
I don't think that one can read.
Perhaps.
Are you
No.
sure that Huxley is a lore master? I've not seen this before.
I know much in the
I-
ways of the world, but not much in the ways of the book.
I think Bose is referring to the other Huxley, but I don't know
I'll
how
slightly
well
turn
that-
my head to see the other one.
Yeah. I don't know how
Just
well that one would
notices.
be able to share information, but Bose, I can't say I fully understand understand where you're coming from in this, but I can clearly tell it's important to you, and you've been a good friend, so I suppose I wish you the best of luck in helping those people. And he says people that way.
I'm gonna go over to Bose and just reach up a hand and put it on his shoulder and just kind of like grip him really tightly and say, if your people need you, then you must go to them.
It's true. My people once needed me.
Did you help them?
I did all I could. But, no, their entire town burned down.
strange.
That's coincidental!
Nerida kind of just looks over
Strange.
very slowly, looks away very slowly back to Bose and says, do not burn your people alive. That's
I'm sure it's a
unbending
coincidence.
control. I'm sure it's coincidence.
One by fire, other by water. Interesting. And Bose, then Bose just says,
This entity is grateful for your understanding. and perhaps we will cross paths again. Who knows? But thank you for everything.
As he insinuates to everybody.
The wolf looks, he goes,
How did-
wait. He goes, you're splitting up now? I was told to help you. He was to make sure
Don't
you're not
worry
in any
about
trouble.
kids.
You're
No.
some sort of dog, right?
That is racist.
I'm asking.
He says, I am of the most proud wolf kind ever to walk this land.
Then you know you can't leave your clan.
He goes, I don't leave my plaque, but now I'm trying to say clan like you, and that's wrong, but my pack behind. He
I
goes,
said clan.
He goes, I go out, and he goes, I hunt for what I need. Speaking of which, and he walks over towards Remy and starts sniffing all over Remy, focusing on your backpack, and then tugging at it slightly, and he asks you where you got it. He says, this is not yours.
So, Remy sort of snatches it back and says, I don't believe your job entailed questioning us about our various belongings.
He says, I have more than one thing that I'm sent to find. He goes, and you clearly have something that doesn't belong to you.
Of possession.
And Remy will sort of say, considering we don't even know, considering you haven't even known, you haven't even shared who you are, I don't think that gives you much of a right to be asking any of us questions now, does it?
He growls a little bit, does that intimidation thing of just based off his size alone, and then says, he goes, I am B.O.S.E. He goes, you now know my name, and I am the one that hunts. In this case, I hunt hired by the Coast family. He goes,
What
do
family?
you know of the Coast family? And you do.
Coast or Coast?
Coast, K-O-S. You remember one individual in particular from when you applied to the university. That was the individual that ran when we talked about the, what's the term? Fraternity. The fraternity that you tried to get into that made a lot of, shall we say, I think I gave you a little bit of the history of the questionable choices that they would not let you in. That was ran by one individual from the Coast family.
I don't know if I got that specific history, but I can do the math. I'm Rembrandt, artificer and tinkerer. It's a pleasure to meet you, B.O.S.E, right?
Yes. He goes, Rembrandt. He goes, give me the backpack and I will take it back to the family. I've already seen what you've left of his body. Remember this backpack came from the furry?
Yeah.
Were you hunting him, or is he part of their family?
I was sent by his family to find him. He had gone in search of this door sealed, which is why I asked about the journal. Now, seeing you with the backpack as well, I understand that you must have his journal. You must have his belongings. Allow me to take them back to his family.
Can Remy? That's a tough thing. Can Remy? Can I do an insight check just to,
Sure.
you know, whether this is like heartfelt or more so.
Go ahead, make an insight roll.
Okay, yeah, just like what I know about the family. Remy believes him completely, regardless of whatever he says. It's great, awesome possum.
One of the things that you actually gain from your insight check is the fact that for him, this is not only he's a friend of the family. There's clearly some tie that goes beyond business here. Sometimes you get something anyway.
Yeah. Rembrandt will sort of look down briefly and say, No one wanted for this to have happened to him. I hope you can see that. And Remy will slowly take the pack off, and his heart already sinking, knowing that like without the not having that journal's a major blow to him. But
he starts. You guys watch him start
over.
sniffing the backpack, for the scents and the smells, and then sniffing you to see if there's anything else, like a wand or anything else that carries the scent of the other person. But luckily, you've been covered in mud and muck and everything else, so probably had you not caught up to him and been here, he probably would have never even noticed the smell difference. So he looks at the backpack and looks at you and says, "Thank you. I will give this back to them." Rembrandt, you say your name is, so that I can let the family know? It's not a particularly nice, if they're like the son, but as you're saying this, you can also connect the dots. If it's a family looking for a son, and you know the age of when you applied to the university, and you got this backpack from the furry, that also tells you who the furry was, their son Tak. So you met him. He's the one that actually, put you out. He's the one.
Rembrandt's eyes sort of, I think, probably go steely for a moment and say, "Yes, Rembrandt. Me and my friends came down here, and we survived, and we survived trials of which no other artifice let me rephrase. We came down here and conquered over trials that any artificer at the university would gawk and then soil their garbs after facing, let alone live to tell the tale."
He says, "Not everyone lives to tell the tale. That's exactly why Tak is dead now." He goes, "These are foolish quests by individuals." And he pulls out the book, the journal, starts ripping it into shreds right in front of you. And then
Rembrandt will dive immediately at him to try and save the book.
Huxley will try and trip Rembrandt.
Shouting no.
let's make an opposed roll. I'll give you each an acrobatics roll, and
I'd like to use
you trying
inspiration.
to trip him. You most
I will
certainly
also use inspiration.
all because the check is inspiration. Where do you go? Good job, chat.
18.
Huxley.
Nice.
Down, and Rembrandt down. 18. Oh, I didn't show the rolls to the chat. They deserve to see that. Oh, why are the rolls? That's Rembrandt.
No,
Sorry.
And he'll say, "You fool!"
So, as he's ripping it up, Huxley tries to trip you. Huxley 1 tries to trip you. You dive over it and whatnot, and you get at him, and you're trying to get at him, and with his superior height and size that everybody's talking about, he's just like ripping it up, and he goes, "No, too many die trying to chase down these myths and rumors of a goblin past, and now you even have a goblin with you." And he gives the book a strong rip again. And so he's ripped the book not only in half once, and now, because it's these flimsy, loose pages put together, he's able to rip it with all his strength a second time. He goes, "No one will die again trying to chase down the goblins." He goes, "Live for today. Live for the truth, not some mythical goblin past." And then he takes the book, having shredded it, and scattered it over towards the Durgar thing, and some of the pages start picked up by this wind from the cavern nearby, because I told you turned off from the cavern top, you're near the top, and start fluttering down and scattering. He goes, "I suggest you come to the surface and live. Leave all this behind." Go ahead.
Could I chase after the pages kind of discreetly while nobody's paying attention to me?
Nobody seems to have been paying attention to you. Yeah, you can start moving off towards that.
Okay, I'm gonna do that while everybody's still talking and having their nice little drama therapy session.
The knowledge in those pages was invaluable.
He looks at you and he growls. And now he reveals, he goes, Dorseal sought knowledge too. Dorseal's the one that caused all this in the first place. He goes, anyone who searches for Dorseal gets deceived and dies. He goes, you don't want that to be your fate.
Only
He goes,
those not clever
go about
enough
helping
to...
friends, help your benefactor, do whatever. He goes, but go live. Don't chase death.
Rembrandt looks over towards Godfrey and then looks back at the werewolf, and he's very much so sort of he's mouthing the words under his breath, Godfrey attack, and then like stops himself and just glares at the werewolf, and then looks to see if like any remnants of the pages are like scattered to the floor or anything like that, and that might have blown back onto this ledge. And see,
Oh
and,
yeah,
like,
there's
looks
some.
to
I mean, like
gather any of
the
those
chunks
up.
of the book cover
Yeah.
and stuff are there. So yeah, there's some. But other ones have blown, and Athos
Yeah.
is or Huxley too is gone. Huxley is wandered off, but Huxley is there, so go figure that out.
He just starts gathering it up.
So you guys are seeing this as he starts gathering. What are the rest of you doing? Bose, are you just
gonna-
like walking away?
No, did our artificer here finish with my eyeballs yet? If he gotten a chance to that, otherwise he's probably not gonna leave without his eyes.
Remy was gonna give you the eyes back until those were taken, until the werewolf ripped up the book. He probably still, I don't know. After they're fixed, he probably would have given them back, but not if the werewolf like stopped him beforehand.
Yikes. Well,
they might like still be in his like hand, like clenched in his fist. He's like still furious.
well then I guess in that case, seeing as that Remy is pretty distraught and indisposed at the moment,
Ignorant fools.
Bose is gonna walk up to Remy and be like,
This entity could probably take those. We'll figure out something.
Aren't you supposed to be a lawkeeper? Doesn't that mean you protect knowledge?
oh jeez. Bose is empathetic for Remy right now. In his mind, he knows what it's like to lose people and lose things that you absolutely love. Clearly, like an entire town and population somewhat. And just attempts to just kind of comfort him in the moment.
Huxley
Saying-
scoffs.
Oh jeez.
He hands over the gems.
I'm gonna say to the werewolf, I'm gonna say to B.O.S.E, your friend wouldn't have met his end if he hadn't been hiding in a cave, dressed as a bear, growling at anybody who passed as if he might attack them.
The wolf kind of says, he wasn't my friend. He was my prey. I hunted him down for the family. I found him, but could not save him after he... Well, I don't know. How should I describe somebody being burned to death underground in a cavern and finding his belongings with all of you? If I had not promised to keep you safe, I would take you down now. Understand? Not my friend.
Burning was that one's fault. And I'll point to Huxley, even though
Which
he claims
Huxley?
not to remember.
Do you know which
One
Huxley?
of the two Huxleys.
One's gone, right? So
The one that just scoffed. And I say, and the belongings were for the point of survival.
He says, whatever. You've given them back now. I'm going to fulfill my promise to bring back what I can of the one talk. And I will also have fulfilled my promise in leaving you safe, even if you are all splitting up. Do what you want. I fulfilled my part of the bargain. I hope we do not meet cross paths again. Wow, see, even I stumble the same way. Hope we do not cross paths again.
Bose. Oh, yeah, go ahead, Nerida.
Okay. I'm gonna just, when I said that I will have approached him, and as he turns away, can I try to sleight of hand something from the bag?
You absolutely can.
Okay.
You can absolutely. I need Bose, Huxley 1, and Klaak to make perception rolls. You don't have to because you're trying to sleight of hand. Because these ones have just been kind of glued on, whereas Remy's been caught up in the emotions and chasing the book. So I got a 12 from Huxley.
Sorry, just looking at the book, the scraps of paper and stuff. Do I recognize the writing? Does this look like the actual notebook?
You're too busy scurrying right now. Yes, you're playing onto something because you're like, something seems odd about it. But, it's ripped into shreds, so you can hardly tell.
Okay, yeah.
Right now, but you're like, something seems odd. Insight, you're like, yeah, something seems off there.
Okay.
And let's see, we got Bose,
20.
Kitty, yeah. So Klaak and Kitty are not high enough. But Bose is with the 20. And Bose, you realize that this individual, because you were watching the whole time through your... Oh, I hate to do this. I am so sorry.
Disadvantage.
You got it. You have disadvantage because of your sight.
But
You
I
don't have
mended
your
the
eyeballs
eyes.
Yet. I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
you didn't.
No.
He hasn't put them in yet.
You haven't mended them.
Oh, he hasn't put them in.
Yeah. You gotta fix them up.
Oh,
Yeah, artifice them,
okay.
maybe.
Well, no,
Alright,
I cast mending a while ago. Before.
When you were...
You didn't put them on.
Yeah. You can even scroll up. It's in the chat and everything.
No.
So, it's a 9. Is that your final roll?
That's it.
Can I add plot
I'm gonna
points?
suggest. Well, that's why I'm asking because
Wait.
it's like,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, there's plot
Yeah.
points. If you guys want to adjust it with plot points, you can.
Tonight's your last night, Eric. You might as well just dump all the plot
Yeah.
points.
I would.
Dump 10 of them. I'm gonna dump 10. All.
You have
19.
inspiration. Don't forget that you could burn. You
That's
could burn your
true.
plot
Can I just
points.
dump everything?
Sure, roll again for inspiration and then decide what your number is.
Alpha strike that D20.
That's it.
Yeah.
Big time. Let's go. All right. So that's a 12. So plus 10 plot points, plus that inspiration.
22.
Boom.
22.
Whatever.
So
Yeah.
one of the things that you've noticed just kind of watching out of the goblin eyeballs in the back of your head and your other weird visions and senses as your vines go about is that he has pocketed the journal on his side. The journal that he palmed out of the backpack is not the same journal that he has ripped up. In the meantime, our water Genasi, who was trying to sleight of hand, did a 13 to sleight of hand something from the backpack and did end up slipping something out. You slipped out some papers from the backpack.
Okay. I will just slide those into my bag as he's walking away, just in case he notices.
Yep. Bose, what do you want to do with your information?
Okay, so this is gonna go into the parting. So, Bose is gonna pop in his little gems, I suppose, right? And then
They don't
goes-
pop back into place and
or-
stay there. They're
I
the same
can't
as
hold
before. He's going to have to do something more than just a simple mending spell. He'll have to work artifice on you.
well, it was more so like how my
Holding
goblin.
him up before?
Yeah, just
Okay.
holding him up or whatever.
Gotcha.
And so he's gonna go and to Huxley, real quick, and just take out one of the goblin eyes, and just give it to Huxley and say,
This can be a form of remembering this entity. I have the other, so yeah,
I'll treasure it.
wonderful. Thank you.
and then walks
Thanks.
over to Remy, and whispers into Remy's ear.
Perhaps this entity isn't as bad as protecting knowledge as you think. You might want to check the pockets of that furry one walking away.
Oh, the wolfkind's already gone while you're doing all this. So, yeah, but they can chase him down, yep.
Yeah, that's it. What I'm
Remy
insinuating.
snaps his head to the left and says, wait, he has the journal.
Indeed. And then Bose says,
Thank you once again, all of you.
and then turns into a giant spider and crawls away into the darkness.
Giant spider
Boss.
holding these 2 gems up, like using some of his own vines to hold the gems in place as he goes off with his kaleidoscope spider vision, climbing off into the darkness and whatnot. Wow.
Hope he can
epic.
help
Ploop
those
Ploopy and
people.
safe.
So Bose goes
Remy-
off to help the Kuatoa people, and you guys know where the journal is and kind of what it points towards.
Well, Remy stands and immediately starts running, and yells, "Godfrey, come!"
Godfrey leaves all of you, and they go running off into the darkness.
I will chase after.
How about you, Athos, Klaak, Kitty?
Huxley will lightly jog.
You know, I'm thinking
I
that's
guess
like a
they're-
DM hint. Am I supposed to look at your character sheet? Are you like messing
Yeah.
with me?
He has
No,
asthma.
no. He has asthma.
Asthma. Yeah.
Oh, that's why.
Huxley
run.
doesn't run if he can help it.
If he runs, he can pass out pretty easy.
Yeah, so he's gently jogging.
And as part of the parting gift of Bose, would you roll a d20 for us on screen?
Absolutely.
Can Klaak do
Absolutely.
one thing when he sees
Get a 20. I
me
hope.
running away?
Can Klaak do one what?
Can I do
Thing.
one thing? Can Klaak do one thing?
Yes. What do you want to do?
Well, I guess there will be blood after all, and I'll just start running with my greatsword too.
There you go.
That werewolf's
Athos,
gonna
are you
get
running after them,
shit
or are
beat
you
out of him.
continuing to pick up pages?
Well, I'm going to look at the pages and then look at everybody running off and then look at Bose and slump the shoulders down for a little bit and then start running, pick up Huxley at the same time and start scooting. Everybody's
Huxley's
getting
not
manhandled
light.
tonight.
Huxley's not light.
It's okay.
Oh, okay.
He's also slow.
Bose has gifted you all with 18 plot points for tonight.
Oh man.
So yeah, you got a huge one. That will
go.
help you out, I'm sure, in the combat that we will be beginning with next week as you take on a wolf kind. I'm assuming you're going to be able to catch up to him, but because we know Nerida can do her sprinting and dashing and all that, and flying.
Cardio, bitches!
There you go. And we
I
will.
can't do in real life.
The joy of role playing. We get to do all the things we couldn't do in real life. I want to thank
Yeah.
Bose for being here tonight. I want to thank our guest, Athos, for being with us as well. Thank all of you. And thanks to the chat for doing everything from inspiration to adding to rolls to making devil's bargains to really influencing the game to deciding that Ploopian lived and breaking poor Bo's heart to get him to go back there and save her and her people. Whether they create an army, well, we'll find that out in time. Probably sometime when Bose has a night off and can come back and join us as a guest again. In the meantime, we will be playing again next week. If each of our players would like to say their goodbyes, we'll save Bose for last. And let's pick it up with Nerida. You can start off with our goodbyes.
Stranger, I play Nerida. You can find me online at DecaQueers.com, on Twitter at DecaQueers, and on Spotify where I run a little queer D&D podcast. That's the thing I do. Other than this, take it to Kitty.
Hi, I'm Kitty Doe. You can find me on YouTube at Kitty Doe, spelled exactly like it is in chat, where I do animation YouTube videos. Moving on over to Klaak.
Hi, I'm Klaak. Play a Goblin Barbarian. I've been mostly playing GTA roleplay and a little bit of D&D. I'm really glad to be doing this with you guys. It's been a lot of fun so far. So hopefully we can keep entertaining those that are entertained and disappointing those that are disappointed. I want to be the chaos you want to see in the world.
Oh my. Oh my.
And I'll pass it over to. I'm gonna go to Bose because Bose is. Oh, but
Bose
maybe
is
we shouldn't
last.
do Bose because he has to be last. Yeah. All right, Remy, go ahead. Fine.
Hi, I'm Alex. I'm the guy that's gonna get this whole party murdered over a book, but it's a
Yes.
cool book. I also do a podcast. It's called 3 Minds, and guess what? We're coming back with new episodes in about 2 weeks. That's what I'm saying it now, so it's gotta happen. Maybe 3 weeks because there's a wedding coming up too. But check that out, and if you haven't listened to some old episodes, feel free to give those a listen to. It's a podcast with a bunch of siblings talking about random junk and doing a little bit of research along the way. Toss it over to Spooks.
Salty Sarsaparilla Spooks. You can find me on Twitter. That would be at SpookSalty. It's just a little page where I'm posting some art that I scribble down every so often. It's about all I got. So you want to take us out?
All right. I want to start with it's been an absolute pleasure, both with the players here. I love every single one of you, and the chat, of course, for making some interesting choices for us. But other than that, it's never a goodbye. So I could be back. I'm more than willing. Whenever I have time off, I would love to come back and play Bose again with you guys. But in other words, if you want to see me still, I do still do the Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in Relics of War. So you can find me there playing as that wonderful Eric Kokra, who I'm just excited to continue with. So, but other than that, thank you so much, and I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their week.
And I'm DM Sean, DM Legend and Song, just your story guide who's always here.